Welcome students, welcome to Industrial Fluid Power session. In this session, we are going to see about the compressors in part 2. This is a part 2 session for the compressor. So in this components of pneumatic system, right now we are seeing the reciprocating compressor. Today, this session we are going to see about the rotary compressor. In part 1, we already saw the reciprocating compressor. This session we are going to see the rotary compressor. So in rotary compressor, first is a lobe compressor. There are different types. Here is a lobe compressor. The lobe compressor is used when high delivery volume but low pressure is needed. So wherever you need a high volume, delivery volume needed but low pressure, there we can use the lobe compressor. It consists of two lobes with one being driven and the other driving. So one is driven means one is connected with a motor, the other is coupled, other is in contact with this driven. This figure shows the construction and working of lobe compressor. It is similar to the lobe pump used in hydraulic system. Yes, this lobe compressor is very similar to the lobe pump, which is used in the hydraulic system. In hydraulic system, we are using oil to flow, but in lobe compressor, we are sending air to compress. The operating pressure is limited by leakage between rotors and housing. As the wear increases during the operation, the efficiency falls rapidly because in this pneumatic application, we don't send any liquid. Purely we are sending air, so that there is no lubrication. Okay, in oil application like in hydraulic system, oil itself can act as a lubrication, but here no lubrication, so this wear will happens, but as it goes on working, the efficiency falls rapidly. So this is the lobe compressor, how it works. The air inlet, the lobes, two lobes is running, one is the driven and one is the driving, so that the air comes outlet, so that the compressed air coming outlet. Then rotary vane type compressor. This is similar to the rotary vane pump, which is in the hydraulic vane pump. The principle of operation of vane compressor is similar to the hydraulic vane pump. Yes. This figure shows the working principle of rotary vane compressor. The unbalanced vane compressor consists of spring-loaded vanes seating in the slots of the rotor. So this red symbol shows the spring, okay, spring loaded, and this green color shows the vane. The pumping action occurs due to movement of the vanes along a cam ring. The rotor is eccentric to the cam ring. As the rotor rotates, the vanes follow the inner surface of the cam ring. When the rotor rotates, this is the rotor. Sorry, this green disc mention the rotor, and this inside this red symbol slots some shows the represents the vanes. The space between the vanes decreases near the outlet due to the eccentricity. Here the space near the outlet, the space between the vanes near the outlet decreases. This causes compression of the air. These compressors are free from pulsation. If the eccentricity is zero, no flow takes place. Eccentricity zero means there is no space between the vanes, so that no flows takes place. Okay, this circle here, the fluid is coming in and the fluid is going out. This represents the animatic view of the rotary vane or sliding type compressor. The air comes in and it goes out. Let's see one more animation explaining rotary vane or sliding type compressor.
A totally different working principle has the so-called rotary compressor, also named as vane compressor. The typical rotary compressor has a cylindrical housing. Adjustable rotary vanes with its center point on an offset drive shaft have contact with the housing. So when the shaft rotates, these vanes create chamber of variable sizes. Air is sucked into the largest chamber, being compressed, and leaves the compressor at the smallest chamber. Advantage here is in the pulsation-free flow, in contrast to piston compressors. Therefore, an air tank may be optional. In addition, these compressors are quiet and relatively insensitive to dirt. Typical application are, for example, wastewater treatment, fish breeding aeration, dust collection, vacuum packing, and so on.
Now let's consider the screw compressor. It has two meshing screws. The air from the inlet is trapped between the meshing screws and is compressed. The contact between the two meshing surface is minimum, hence no cooling is required. These systems are quiet in operation compared to piston type. The screws are synchronized by using external timing gears. So these are the two intermeshing screws, and this is the outer casing. This is the inlet. Through this inlet, the air is coming out, and it is compressed. How it is compressed means there be gap between the two screws is very less, so that it will compress the air and it goes out. So this is the animatic view of the screw compressor, how it works. Inlet, it comes from one side, and outlet, it goes on the other side. And these two screws are meshing, and in between that air is compressed, so that the compressed air is coming out. Then now we are going to see about the axial type air compressor. This is also dynamic compressor used for high discharge of air up to 50,000 meter cube per minute. Sorry, meter, it is not a meter, it is meter cube. Pressure of air is very minor. Construction. A series of blades are fixed on a shaft and the assembly is in-house in casing. Shaft is coupled to motor through belt pulley. As shaft rotates with high speed, large volume of air is transferred from input side to output side. The pressure achieved at discharge point is just 1 bar. Okay. This is a symbol of compressor. Similar to electric circuits, there are symbols for all elements used in pneumatic circuits. Let us see the symbol of compressor. The symbol drawn is for compressor, irrespective of type of compressor. Whatever the type, it may be any type of compressor, but this is the common type used for the pneumatic air compressor. The compressor is motor driven because M symbol shown is for motor. Here M is connected shown, that is it represents M. It represents M represents motor. So this pneumatic compressor which is driven by motor. If the letter E is present means, if the letter E is written means, then it is engine drive. Or if the letter is T is written means, then it is turbine drive. The triangle shown is empty because it indicates the handling of air. For pneumatic compressors, pneumatic systems, the triangle will be plain, blank, empty. It is not dark shade. It is plain. It means it handles air. So this is the animatic view of the axial type air compressor. There are a series of blades connected, and this series of set connects parallelly connected. Now we are going to see about the selection of criteria for compressor. Following are the basic criteria or factors which need to be considered while selecting type of compressor. The first one is pressure requirement of pneumatic circuit. How much pressure you required? Capacity or volume of air required by circuit or consumer. Then the third one is compressor configuration. Now we will discuss the factors in details. First one is the pressure requirement. We know that the pneumatic systems are used when pressure requirement is below 10 bar. Okay, when the pressure requirements are below 10 bar, in that applications only we are going for the pneumatic systems. If it is more than 10 bar, we are going for the hydraulic applications, hydraulic setup, hydraulic systems. Following broad criteria is used for selection of compressor based on pressure ratio requirement. According to the pressure ratio requirement only, we are going to select the compressor. Then what is the pressure ratio? Pressure ratio is defined as the ratio between output pressure to the input pressure. Output pressure from this compressor to the input pressure. For pressure ratio is 10, then we can go for reciprocating compressor. If the pressure ratio is 8, we can go for vane compressor. If the pressure ratio is 3, you can go for screw compressor. If the pressure ratio is 2, we can go for lobe compressor. If the pressure ratio is 1 to 2, we can use lobe compressor. We can have criteria of selection based upon output pressure. Okay, you can have a based upon output pressure also we can select the compressor. When the pressure is above 10 bar, that is output pressure is 10 bar and up to 15 bar, use multi-stage reciprocating compressor. When the pressure requirement is between 7 to 10 bar, that is output pressure. These criteria are only based on the output pressure. When the output pressure requirement is between 7 to 10 bar, use twin screw compressor or multi-stage vane compressor. When the pressure requirement is between 3 to 7 bar, that is output pressure requirement is between 3 to 7 bar, use single or two stage reciprocating compressor. When the pressure requirement is up to 3 bar, use vane compressor. And when pressure requirement, that is output pressure requirement is between 1 to 2 bar, use lobe compressor. Selection criteria is based upon the volume of air also. Compressor compresses the air and this compressed air is stored in an air receiver. The air under pressure is supplied to pneumatic circuit through air receiver. In case of lobe or axial or centrifugal compressors, no air tank is used. The air is directly supplied through compression. So that is in case of lobe or axial or centrifugal compressor, the air is directly supplied through the compressor to the other side receiver. Air requirement is in 1000 cubic meter per hour or even per mm. Following are some broad guidelines for selection of compressors on basis of air requirement. According to the requirement, we are going to select. If the air requirement below 5000 cubic meter per hour, use reciprocating compressors. If the air requirement is 10,000 cubic meter per hour, then go for screw compressors. If the air requirement is above 10,000, sorry, this is not a 1 lakh, this is 10,000 cubic meter per hour, vane compressors or lobe compressors go for. If the air requirement is about 5000 or above 5000 cubic meter per hour, go for centrifugal or axial compressors. Compressor, the selection of criteria for compressor is based upon the compressor configuration also. Sometimes there is limited space for compressor installation and we need high pressures. Then we have to use V-type cylinder configuration of reciprocating compressor. For limited space and for high pressure, we can go for V-type cylinder configuration of reciprocating compressor. This is a geometrical aspect of selection. In any factory, compressor is installed in a separate room because it makes noise. Thank you, students. Thank you for this in this session. Let's see in the next class.